And let's jump into our next guest. Here she comes, fantastic Miss Reverend Sheila Black. Hello, how are you doing, darling?
Hi, good morning, Judy. I'm awesome. So grateful to be here today, and happy love to you, my friend.
Oh my goodness. I just want to say you look lovely. You're lovingly and lusciously in red. I love the flowers. So bravo to you for looking so fantastic.
Yeah.
So tell the folks a little bit what you do, because it's very unique and very interesting. And I think a lot of people are going to really resonate this. And of course, it's no coincidence that you are right after Lydia. I think the universe is so perfect that you came right after her. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
That's exactly what I was thinking, that the synchronicity, I don't believe in coincidences, only synchronicities. So what I do is I'm a working medium. I'm an ordained spiritualist minister. And by being ordained as a spiritualist minister, we're all mediums and we're all healers. So I have a home practice where I work, and I also do all kinds of readings and healings online. And talking about building your toolbox, on the last speaker was talking about building her toolbox. I also believe in building your toolbox too, more of a spiritual toolbox, like to learn how to do this yourself, because I do believe that everyone has the innate gift to be a medium, to be a healer. It's whether or not you really want to do it and whether or not you want to do the work to get there. Because sometimes, other people may have an easier way of getting success, and other people have to try harder. But it's no different than playing the piano or something like that. The practice, practice, practice. And I truly believe that anyone can do this. And it's all about love. It's all about connecting to the spirit world, to your spirit loved ones, and sharing the love with the community and everybody else that you come in contact with.
So re-educate us a bit, because sometimes people hear the word medium and they think of those old silly TV shows about it, or they think that it's unavailable or it's just this rare thing that only some people can do, and they're skeptical. I know that you have a very, logical and scientific and yet spiritual understanding and way to explain it. Can you give that to people so they can see it potentially from a different viewpoint?
Sure, absolutely. So as I mentioned already, I do believe that we all have the gifts, that we're all able to do this. And it's a matter of wanting to do it. And a lot of times somebody will lose a loved one in the spirit world, and that may inspire them to take this traveling in this journey. Because that's what happened to me. I had experiences my whole life with the spiritual world and with seeing spirit and connecting, but I didn't really have a formal education with it. I didn't have a formal process. So I do actually teach mediumship, and I teach workshops, and I believe that this is possible for everyone. So what's most important, JB, is that people meditate and quiet the mind, because there's so much, clutter in their mind, and monkey brain, as we call it, that we have to quiet the mind so we can connect to the spirit world. So, you talk about prayer. Prayer is, asking for something, whereas meditation, you're receiving something. And we're all able to do this. So when you've lost someone to spirit, that's when it really kind of hits home, that you really want to connect with them and you wonder how they are. And it's so important to know that they are okay on the other side. They're more than okay on the other side. So there's different ways of connecting. But like you said, the first thing is to quiet the mind. And then you can take various courses to learn how to connect. There's different ways. One is clairvoyance, is when you can actually see spirit. Clairaudience is when you can actually hear. And then you can have clairsentience, where you actually feel it inside. So a lot of people have that kind of a gut feel and is kind of know that there's something going on and can't really explain it. One of my old teachers called it a God knowing. You just know that something's around you. You feel your spirit people around you. But like I said, everyone can do this. It's just trusting, and there's nothing to be afraid of. Some people think that there's fear in there, because there's no fear, because spirit works only in love. So it's more, it's so appropriate that I'm speaking today on your love side, because, that's what spirit is all about. It's all about love. And the work that I do, it's to provide love for the client and for spirit,
I
because
think that, yeah, and thank you. I was going to say, I think that a lot of people like the word medium, or talking to someone who has passed, makes them feel a bit skeptical. But I just want to point out to people, like, how many times have you woke up in the morning and you think of a friend or you think of somebody and then they phone you? Like that is that connection. I have another thing I call mummy senses. Like there are times when I literally get the radar, like my kids need me, my kids are home from school, or my kids or something's going on with my kids. And I'll just get like mummy radar where I'll be like, I need to phone the kids, or I need to check in with the kids. And every single time it's like, oh, I was just trying to reach you, or I was just thinking about you. Or so we have this, we know when our spouse, I don't know if there's ever, my husband goes for a run every morning, and he runs a different length of time and a different distance, but I actually feel him when before he opens up the door and returns. Like I have this feeling like he's he's coming back now. And it's not that I hear him or anything. I don't know how long his run is, but there is this sense, and we have it all the time with all kinds of different areas of our life. And so what you do is just another extension of that. Can you share a little bit for people who maybe have someone who has passed, or maybe there is something that they would like to start practicing themselves that just generate more of that love between the person they feel they've lost?
Absolutely. Like I said, most important to have the quiet mind and
Mm-hmm.
to connect with them, to ask them to come forward and to work with you. Because spirit, your loved ones always want to work with you. They're always here to help you. You know, I have one of my girlfriends passed away not too long ago, and she came to me and told me to reach out to her husband, because her husband apparently, I phoned him and said, by any chance, did you feel Kathy last night kiss you on your cheek? And he said, well, I thought I was dreaming. I said, well, she told me to call you and no, you're not dreaming, that it's real.
Aww.
Yeah, so we actually felt it, and you know that kind of thing happens. And you may be asleep, and you may feel like you've been dreaming of your loved one, and you wake up and you think it was just a dream. But honestly, spirit comes to us in our dreams because we're so busy during the day with our, you know, all this clutter all around us, while the noise going around us, that our subconscious mind is very quiet during the evening. So often spirit will come to us with messages and help us, give us information and guidance in our dreams. I always recommend my students to keep a journal beside their bed, and you can even put a note there like, I want to manifest something, or can you please help me with something, and put that book beside your bed. And so you've set the intention, and then you go to sleep, and then your spirit people will come to you in your sleep. And I always recommend that you get up and you write it right away, whatever, even just point form for the first couple things you remember, because as soon as you walk to the bathroom and come back, you forget, right? And it may be trigger later during the day.
Yes.
But you know, I believe in synchronicities. Again, I encourage all the viewers here today to trust what you see and feel, and no, it's not a coincidence, and no, you're not imagining that. Spirit is really working with you. It could be, you know, simple. Like I was really missing my friend Liz. I was really missing her, and I was going for a walk. And I said, "Can you please show me a sign? Well, I know that you're here, but I still like to see and feel myself too." So I looked up, and there was this perfect shape of a heart and a birch tree. And it was, the very second I said, "Show me a sign," I look up and there's this heart. And I said, "How beautiful. Thank you." And it just made my day, you know. And some people would think, oh, it's just a coincidence. Oh, maybe it looked like a heart. But no, it was a heart, and it was her. And I know it was because I could feel her at the same time. So it's, then there's all kinds of things. You talk about your phone, you know someone's going to phone you. But you know, sometimes when you've lost somebody and you still think they're around, and you want to pick up the phone and call them. You still have that feeling when someone's passed away. You want to share some good news or something. I remember one time I was in my car and I was thinking about my mom, and I wanted to pick up the phone to call her, to tell her something, even though she's been gone for a couple of years at that point. And then next thing you know, my phone starts ringing and her picture's on the phone. So she phoned me actually.
That
Yeah.
is so wonderful. And you're right, it's not a coincidence. We have one of our Ignite authors who was talking about her lost her husband, and then she was sitting on the beach mourning him, and a bird feather like fell and landed on her arm. Like one feather like fell from the sky and like landed on her arm, and she's like, okay. And she just knew instinctively and intuitively, like that was a message from him to be free of the grief and to just let go and to be free. And so here's the thing, it doesn't need to be proven, because if you feel it and you believe it and you know it, then that's the healing. Would you say that like that's the love healing, the love coming forth?
Oh, absolutely. You can feel your own loved one with you, and just know that they're with you. So like the work that I do, it's all about healing. And then part of the mediumship is verbal healing, but I also do hands-on healing as well. Or I can do distant healing if that's on Zoom or whatever. Because you know, when we're grieving, we not only hold it, the sadness emotionally, but we actually hold it in our body.
Mm.
So there's I started doing about a half an hour of healing, half an hour of reading, because the healing, we need to clear the energy field, we need to clear all the trauma that we're holding in the body. And then we talk about the loved one will come through and bring messages to, my clients. And it can be, it can be very sad. It could be someone who's killed himself. It could be a child who died tragically, or whatever it is. But the whole purpose of it is to prove communication, that life is eternal, that their loved one is going to come and tell them that they're okay. And like I said, more than okay. And the healing that comes through the love. Sometimes when I have clients, it's very overwhelming to me, because I can feel the love of the spirit world, and it actually comes through me to them. And it's so overwhelming. Sometimes I want to cry, and it's not
Mhm.
sad, it's beautiful. And it's truly beautiful. And for them to know, that their loved one's okay. And, sometimes they may want to say something that they didn't get to say, or they didn't get to say bye, or they're sorry for something. And also spirit too. Their loved ones sometimes they may have regrets too. They come in with love, but they may want to apologize for something. They may want to tell them something. And, they often tell me things that are current, so they know that they're always with their loved one. So they can say, well, they saw you last week at whatever they were doing. And she, oh, wow, really? And I said, yes, they're always with you. They're watching you and looking after you. They're always here for you. And they said, love never dies. I totally believe that. And I believe that the personality of your loved one comes very, very strong. That's usually what I pick up the most. If the person's a shy person, I may have to really coax them to talk to me in the spirit world. But if they're robust energy, they come in and they come to the front of the line, and they want to be the first one heard. And, they're exactly the same on the earth plane as we are in the spirit world. So that's what I find kind of funny, actually, to see how their personality shines through, and how the love truly shines through.
And you are so great, because you teach people how to have this in their own lives. You're not being like, I'm the only one who can tell you what your spirit or what your loved one is sharing. You show people how they can create that skill in themselves.
Absolutely. It's so important that people are empowered. That's what I love to do the most, is the teaching. I love all aspects of what I do, but the teaching, to see people like, oh my goodness, I can connect with my loved one. I think of one of my students, and she lost her 8-year-old child quite tragically. And she was so depressed. And when, after she took some courses with me over a couple of years, mind you, but when she was finished, she was so happy. And her whole, the way she carried herself was so much more brighter and confident, and she could connect with her son herself. She didn't have to go to meet him to get a message from him. She knew he was there, and she could communicate with him. That's what's most important. The empowerment is so important.
And so just 2 steps: quiet the mind, connect, give one of, if there's somebody, and I know there is somebody who's listening to this right now, and they're wishing, and like, I wish that I could connect with somebody who's passed. Can you just walk them through a tiny little step, so they, after the summit, they could maybe practice, or of course get in touch with you? But I think that, anyone, even at any point with some of your guidance, may be able to have the feeling that you're talking about.
Exactly. So it's important, like, again, find somewhere that gives you joy. Like, like, I love the space that I'm in right now. Have a space that has, things that you like and that you're comfortable, and make that kind of your space, and go to the same space all the time, because that has energy. We have an energy footprint when we in the same area all the time. And then go in there with the intention. And I also recommend at the same time of day. It doesn't have to be, but if you set the same time of day, then you're not going to forget either, and it's going to become a routine. And sit in quiet, and just sit there with the affirmation that, I always say, spirit flows easily through me, and I connect easily with spirit, for we were all spirit, right? So you may want to say a mantra, something like that, and then invite in the white light around you, invite in your spirit people around you, and just start to feel the blending. This in your solar plexus, in the middle of your stomach. That's where I believe your soul resides. So when I'm working with my students, I always get them to expand from the solar plexus, and just imagine your soul getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, expanding out into your auric field. Because what happens is, spirit needs to lower their vibration to connect with us, and we need to raise our vibration to connect with them. So if we're expanding out of the solar plexus with the intention of connecting, we're expanding, raising our vibration, raising our energy, and then you could start to feel the blend of spirit. you might, like I'm right now, I'm feeling goosebumps. I just know that my friend Liz has just stepped in, and so is my mom and dad are here too, but they're all cheering me on. But you could feel like the energy. You can feel whether it's a tingling in your hands, or you may feel a coldness or heat. It depends. Every spirit works differently. But again, just by blending your energy and consciously just forcing this breath out, there's lots of meditations you can get online, and there's a practice called sitting with spirit is what I highly recommend. That's with the expanding the energy and doing the breath work, and then imagining your spirit people coming in nice and close, blending the energies together. And everybody works differently. Like some people may be able to see with their eyes open, see spirit walking around. I can sometimes, but other times you see in your third eye, like you just imagine, like I can feel like I can see that, I can describe them perfectly. They're standing right beside me, but my eyes, I can see them in my third eye. So that you can practice exercises going outside where you pay attention to things that you see. Or if you want to work on your clairaudience, the hearing, really pay attention to sounds and start really focusing on that. You know, it helps to heighten your awareness, whether it's clairsentient hearing, clairvoyance, seeing, or, and then again, the clairsentient feeling, that whole feeling and trusting. In fact, most people, their strength is clairsentient, the feeling. That's where it usually starts. Now just trust it and know that it's there, and just work on it, and try to work the other senses too. Like even if you can smell, like I can smell my dad's aftershave, Old Spice all the time, or I could smell my mom's flowers or whatever it is, but work on your scent as well. Because I know that if you build your spiritual toolbox, it's at workshops I always teach, that the more that you learn, the more that you know, the more spirit can work with you. So
absolutely.
Right. Absolutely. If you're a gardener, they'll show you stuff about flowers, or if you know about science, they'll show you stuff but whatever you know, that's what they'll send you, and you can work with them. But expand as much as you can, read as much as you can, meditate, get as much information. YouTube is filled with internet, all kinds of meditations and things to inspire you. There's lots.
And you are being very inspiring because you're giving a free gift, a free opportunity for people to work with you. Tell us about that, because I'm always fascinated by what you share. And I know that people listening, we've had some comments come up on the feed who want to connect with you. Share how people can find you.
Okay, thank you, JB. My webpage is beonewithspirit, so BEONE with spirit .com. And if you can contact me through my webpage, I'm offering a free reading for one lucky person from today, and then 20% off for every single person who reaches out. And just on my webpage, just say Ignite free reading, or Ignite 20%, and whichever it is that you're hoping for, I'll get back to you and we'll schedule. And you can do it in person if you live in the area I'm in, the Belleville area, or if not, everything it's on Zoom. It works. People sometimes wonder, how does it work on Zoom? How does it work on the phone? It's no different. Trust me, it's exactly the same on Zoom or any other, platform. It works exactly the same. So I really, really look forward to reaching out and touching and helping some people and inspiring some people and helping people grow and heal and feel the love.
Thank you so much. It's all spirit. It's all energy. It's always, always available. Thank you so much, darling. I want to be that free winner. Go to her website and sign up. Thank you so much. Again, you look beautiful. Have a beautiful weekend. Happy Valentine's to you. And make sure you go out and spread the love because you're looking gorgeous. Take care.
Thank you. You too. Thanks again.